It's the Caleb MTG Show.
Should we Smuggler's Copter here? Should we Gaia's Cradle? Last draft happened because we took Questing Beast over Gaia's Cradle, pack 1, pick 1. We can see what happens when I take the Cradle now. Fire Covenant's good. Should we Narset? Should we do something drastically different? Wow. This would have been a good Naya pack, huh? Bird Zumazawas, Wilk Sunbaked. I'm going to take the Time Warp with this Narset start. Let's take the Cryptic. Just another Time Walk, right? Oh, we have a Stip. I'm sorry, Monk Fantastic. I'll jam your Stip after this draft. Yeah, I appreciate reminders right when I'm going in for that reason. And I only accept them when I'm getting close to the draft for that reason. Anyway, my apologies. It'll just be a delay. It'll just be a draft in between. Appreciate your understanding. I guess we take an Underground Sea, huh? Is it too late to pivot? It is, yeah. A bit late. I mean, it's never really too late, but it would be too late to pivot towards the Stip. The Stip was to do a green-black rock deck. Wheel of Doomsday. I did Doomsday yesterday, right? I think I got that out of my system for a day or two at least. I'm going to take Volk over Chrome Mox here. I love me at Chrome Mox, but this doesn't feel like it's going to be a Mox deck. Unless we get some draw 7s later. I do want some draw 7s with Narset. Maybe I am supposed to take the Chrome Mox. Feels like passing the Volk might put someone in blue, though. Some people see even that as a signal. Let people know that it's fucking bone dry over here for blue cards. For black-green rock, would have been Beast or Cradle. It would have been Beast. We would attack one, pick one, Questing Beast again. We got this Strix. Jace would be good with Doomsday, but I'm not quite in the mood to Doomsday right now. Curtains isn't terrible. Like block early on. Maybe I should just be grabbing every blue duel I see, though. Think about this Talisman versus Ledger Shredder. I'm gonna grab the Talisman. Sunken Ruins, Goldspan Dragon, Fire Covenant. Let's take Fire Covenant, huh? Like, this is like a really good mana setup. I guess Sunken Ruins is really good with Cryptic. I feel like Fire Covenant's worth drafting. I mean, it's gonna solve some problems for us. It's like an instant speed Toxic Deluge here, you know? It's just good. Oh yeah, Disgruntled Gamer? That seems very specific. Hard Evidence is power adjacent in that a pack could appear where it is next to a piece of power. If we draft like a Mox or an Ancestral Recall later on this draft, it'll be like right next to it, you know? Oh, there's a Damnation. Maybe I didn't need this Fire Covenant. I think I do want the Damnation too, huh? Kaido would be good, but I feel like this is better. Grixis Wheels. I mean, if we can actually find some wheels. I'm not against it. If you open a sealed box of beta and get G.I. Joe cards, oh, that's super rare. You gotta pass the luck along. Reseal it. Sell it to the next happy winner. Yeah, I'll draft a Mox. Okay, now the Hard Evidence is power adjacent, just like we were saying. That's why you buy from your LGS? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, never buy from sketchy folks. Even ordering on Amazon is sketch. I've heard of people buying boosters, like boxes on Amazon, cracking them, taking all the rares out, resealing them and then sending the box back. And the people at Amazon that are like restocking shit aren't like gamers. Like they don't know that there's something wrong. And so they just like send it out to the next person. I'm gonna grab True Name and wheel that Shinobi. That's what I'm gonna do. That seems fine, right? Huge reason to buy from your own LGS. Trusted sources only. I guess we take a Jace, huh? I kind of like these black cards here. Right now our removal's kind of hefty. Wouldn't mind an early game thing. Tinker? Nah. I don't think we're a Tinker deck. Maybe we could have been. We passed Blightsteel in pack 1, right? What are we trying to tinker for? Maybe my memory's off. I think I like this dig through time. The cards. Mastermind and Narset are good together, right? I guess they're fine. Mystical Tutor has some stuff worth grabbing. I think I'm gonna take this Dreams. We'll discard Spell. Daze, Blue-Black Talisman. Let's take this Talisman. Gonna make our mana base smooth as butter. That's a desirable thing, right? Haunted Ridge is an option here, too. I feel like Wormcoil could solve some problems for the deck, though. We just stabilize versus aggro. Would we splash green for Tameo? I don't think so. Thinking about that Sunken Ruins. No, I like to be even more rampier for a card like Upheaval. Especially in a controlling type deck. Like if you're playing against a aggro deck with a tighter curve or a ramp deck with a tighter curve, most of your opponents are going to have tighter curves than this. And most of your opponents, even if they are like other control decks and stuff, are also going to have like a random Mox or whatever floating around. So if you're doing the Upheaval thing, you need to be like really good at it. Virtue or Valky, huh? I'm kind of feeling the Valky. Virtue was really good for me the other day. I've liked it a lot. Would I splash green for Minsc here? Probably not. Kind of already asking a lot of our mana base. Ideally, I would shore up this mana base, not weaken it. We have 2 Talismans, which is really good. There's also a Mox Pearl in there. A little sideboard action for opposing Planeswalkers. Yeah, blue fetch would be really nice. I mean, right now we could cut red pretty easily. But that wouldn't solve all my problems. Like, the red splash right now is pretty free for this Fire Covenant. Your buddy's down on Talismans. It kind of depends on what style of player you are, right? If you consistently have something to do on turn 2 to, like, disrupt the opponent or advance your own plan, nothing wrong with being down on Talismans. Yeah, we're just taking the Demonic Tutor, but I'm just thinking, not a bad Shelldock deck. If our game plan goes to, well, to plan, like we're gonna be able to play it for a free spell almost every game, right? With a slow deck like this. So this is Grief versus Grim Monolith. There's a couple things for Grim Monolith to do, but I think Grief's a little bit better here. Fits our curve better too, with the Talismans to ramp into it. At this point, mostly looking for fixing. Yeah, it goes back to that old idea of ramp versus control, right? Like if your opponent spends 2 turns playing ramp spells, and then they play their payoff, and you have a counter spell for the payoff, then you're sort of getting virtual ramp, sort of getting virtual card advantage, right? If you're sitting there with like all answers. Hypnotrock's really good. I think I'm going to take this Dak Faden. I think Dak makes the red splash a lot better here and get some nice value out of it. Pairs well with our Narset too, right? Target the opponent, make them discard. So preordain would be excellent, but we're going to take the Verdant Catacombs. Because I can get an Underground Sea. Now I kind of wish I did take the Identity, huh? Between Pearl and Fetching Tower. It's like borderline supported. Murktide's competing with Dig Through Time. I guess we're just taking Subtlety. I was really high on Subtlety for a bit. I've cooled on it a little bit, but still fine. We saw sort of the Meek earlier, right? Double red on Fireball is going to be iffy. Plus, we already have some sweepers. Hey, there we go. That's the good stuff. Kind of dig the Fire Ice. I think I'm going to take Molten Collapse, though. Right now, we do not have a lot of answers that just answer like a Planeswalker. And Molten Collapse does that, and it pitches to Grief. The Fire Ice is mighty tempting, though. Nice wheel. You don't like Subtlety and Control? I think hardcasting Subtlety is pretty good. Kind of Venser-esque. Oh, cool, the Jackalope. Evoking Subtlety feels bad unless you're like getting your opponent's Emrakul or something. I actually did this Ophiomancer here a lot. Nobody wants to block a Death Touch Snake token, so just like let's Shinobi get in. I think we're going to be cutting this Wormcoil from the main deck. And I'm not sure what else. We need like one more cut here. Maybe it is the Subtlety. Boop. Yeah, I don't think there's anything crazy with a build that includes one of these. I'll be right back. I have food ready in the fridge. Life is good, folks. What are we doing here? Couldn't even have the decency of giving me an on-color Mox. The mountain's not fetchable. It would just be a random mountain. Might still be correct. I mean, we've got Turok and Cryptic Command, but we also have a lot of blue-black fixing. Let's do the counts for those. This is only 9 black sources. I don't like that. 13 blue sources. All right, we can do that. Do like 11, 11. 11, 11, 4. Ooh. 5 mana sources. A crab and a damnation. I'm like excited. Soup dumplings and noodles on the way. Love that. I did stream for a year straight, yeah. Not the only person to do that. We have 4 red sources in my deck, Yargle. I don't really like having a 3-mana 2/3 rotting in my hand. One more thing that can go wrong. Like, could be a discard color, but like green could be a disenchant color. It's like, do you want to break an Inquisition or... The library's a little terrifying. $10 years ago, since my year of streaming? No, 8 years ago. Nuance might have been 10 years ago. Yeah, MJ, aka Darkest Mage, was like the first person to go full-time, right? I guess I'm taking Toxic Deluge, huh? I know about the Spell Pierce now. I can play around it. MJ seems a lot happier when I watch his streams these days than back then. Correct. They are likely reanimating. MJ's Darkest Mage. He's a streamer. Hell yeah, Spoiled Spam. Yeah, that was a hell of a stream. I remember that one fondly. Cool. Cool. You remember the fire? Oh, yeah. What do I think of the next generation of Pro Magic? The Zoomers? There's some really good Zoomers. Nathan, like, kind of undeniable, right? No, my Mox thing. Yeah, I kind of need a ninja, huh? Just take a bang. I think I'm just going to loot. Oh, you mean in terms of wizards? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not as connected in as I used to be. Maybe I shouldn't have played my land before looting. Oh well. I was gonna bin this stuff anyway. We know they have Spell Pierce in their hand, so we can't really like play anything, and then also have Cryptic up. I think I want to have Cryptic up. Playing True Name was pretty appealing though. Maybe that's correct. Play True Name there, and then like Valky a card out of their hand. Library is indeed gonna solo us, yeah. Yeah, maybe True Name was my best bet. I feel like they're gonna try and reanimate a Woodfall Promise here, though. That seems very likely to me. Could tap them to keep the deck alive. I think it's better to just draw the card. Now I really wish I had that True Name, huh? Although if I had gone for the True Name line, then. But man, if I kept the True Name over this Valky, that'd be exciting. If I draw a removal spell for the bat, then the Grief gets to connect, and then they'll be at 2. 2 is not very many lives. Fair enough. Maybe they'll have something real interesting. So next turn we go up to 7 mana. Feels kind of real. Library's offline. Yeah, it wouldn't have been otherwise, though, because the Chart of Course would have brought them back up to 7. Playing some Vintage Cube here, full wagon. No. Yeah, looks like my best bet is still the top deck. The X damage burn spell. So I can kill the Skydiver in the deep cabin, two-shot them with grief. Fascinating. Kind of forgot Time Warp was in here. I should have ordered those. It's kind of a lot of cards, and the game could go for a bit more. Yeah, it should be like Time Warp and then Jace under that. I guess the Demonic Tutor is going to shuffle for me. Anyway. They do still have Spell Pierce, yeah. But the Demonic Tutor could get discarded or countered or something, who knows. The Snuffs, sure. Oh, casting... Hey, Hippity Long Ears, thanks for 76 months. Guess we just gotta hope they don't have another counter. What if the ninja was better? Because one of these creatures was gonna get in. Oh, they're drawing. Nice. Tar Pit's tapped. They might have to trade Jace for the grief here. Maybe that card's just awesome. The crab was a ninja all along. Yeah, what up indeed, Hibbity? What up indeed? What up, everybody? Cool. Kind of stole that one, huh? Got a little tempo in there. I feel like if I kept the true name instead of the Valky, things would have been easier for me. I didn't know they had like actual factual reanimate though, but now I do. TMNC, I don't know what that means. Beating the turn 1 library's control. It was turn 2. They went turn 1 tap land, but yes, I agree. Teenage Mutant Ninja Crabs. Ah, I see. I don't lead on Mox Pearl. Because they spell Pierce, I don't play the tower. If they don't spell Pierce it, I don't play the Talisman. Into Senior Snips here. This is the first match. Game 2 up a game. A vintage legal deck that consisted only of lands and cards with a single mana cost. What mana cost would you choose? Interesting. I think 3. 3's pretty good. You get to be a Workshops deck and then also play Simian Spirit Guide, so you got some non-shops hands that are keepable. I don't know what you're trying to say, Sibwow. Serum Powder's also in 3. Oh yeah, so you just have the shops more often. Love that. Oh, a single mana cost, not value. Oh, I'm less interested in the question then. 3 colorless might still be a fine answer. But 1 red starts to look good too. All these sweepers might just be bad, huh? From the aggro deck of the matchup. Yeah. Mr. Snips, no! But they don't have any things. This doesn't do anything. My opponent did keep... I think they like mulled a 5 or 6 or something. So they probably kept a hand. They got a triple lander with the ice and just drew more lands. No! Alright, attack you for lethal. If only we could reanimate Mr. Snips. Mr. Snips is now a part of our collective memories. We will honor him. Every day we pass on his story. I almost like this hand, right, with the Talisman. Just off to the races when you hit lane number 2. Nice Prebin. Your favorite anime? Well, if it's Eat My Chicken's favorite anime, should probably check it out. Me and the girlfriend just finished up season 8 of Alone. When we started dating, I just started rewatching that show to see what it'd be like now that I'd like watched all of it, you know, see if I picked up anything, had different impressions. And she was just game to watch it all. So we are pretty deep on it. But when we finish it, we'll need another show. Different impressions? Yeah. I definitely, well, I knew a lot more about a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff than the first time I watched the show. Which characters get, like, kind of bad edits, as it were. Sometimes they'll, like, intentionally hide... Like they have to pick and choose what they show, right? Because they have like all these hours and hours and hours of footage. And at the very end, the very last episodes, usually you got like one person who's got some food left and they're doing all right, and like a couple people that are just starving, and they still have to have a show. It still has to have like tension and stuff. So they'll try and like understate how well the person that's crushing it is doing. Put in the with the editing choices, have the moments where they're like self-doubting and stuff, and then like the few moments the other people are like succeeding, they like try and like have that balance. And then when things go terribly wrong, it's less of like an emotional travesty because I've seen it all before, so it's much easier for me to laugh at it the second time through. There's a scene where this guy is just screaming like huge emotional catastrophe, like down on the ground. Please put the fire back into me, you know, just. And it's this like kind of terrible moment, you know. He's been out there starving and struggling and so hard and whatever. But I couldn't stop laughing on the second watch. And the first time I watched through the show, like, I pretty much never laughed. Hey, and Holy Diver, I think it's 49 months there. Yeah, you can watch it on the History Channel. I ended up buying the seasons on, or buying the History Channel or something on Prime, but you can watch a lot of History Channel stuff for free on their website if you're watching shows on your computer. Ooh. But if I flip it, I won't be able to name a thing. Forge and Fire is really good. That's like the one other reality show that I've watched a lot of is Forge and Fire. I like how they edit that show to make everyone seem like a good sport. It feels like even when somebody's an actively like a bad sport, they like downplay it. Oh, shit, what up? Hey, Water 9, thanks for 82 months there. Yeah, I think I have to do this and give them their thing back so I can block in the future. I really enjoyed the earlier season of Forged in Fire, where you didn't really know what you were getting when you went to their home forges. Maybe the Ophiomancer should be serving in here too. In the later seasons, most people have like pretty decent forges set up. But early on, you would go to people and they would just like have a fire pit in their backyards, things of that nature. Playing on hard mode. So one more any land, and we can time warp. That could be nice. One more blue land, and we can cryptic tap. That seems strong. I guess we're just gonna go digging, huh? Oh, we can't. We don't have enough mana. Well, we can DAC, huh? Let's DAC. Tapping correctly. And then just cast Turok if we had an untapped land here. Right, Jank Mage? Yeah, I had an acquaintance go on one of the bigger cooking shows, like Top Chef or something, and his write-up afterwards was, I am lightning. They didn't just, like, edit it to make it look like there was more drama and tension than there actually was. They actually, like, altered the conditions of the show to make everybody, like, on edge and stuff to, like, increase the chance of drama. Like, they would wake everybody up and make them, like, shift hotels and, like, crazy shit like that. The Theory of Destiny is only 1 mana away from flipping. Pretty scary. Oh, fun, Water 9. Five, 6, 7, plus 3 is 10, 11. Yeah, so Time Warp works, and Cryptic, I think, also works. They're Hellbent. This is starting to feel like a slow roll. Just double counting, triple counting, that sort of thing. Yeah, juggled them on. That does not surprise me. I think I like showing them the Time Warp more than I like showing them the Cryptic. I feel like Time Warp's a harder card to play around. Yeah, Snap, Snap, Snap. That's pretty scummy, too. I've definitely watched shows where, like, when they say time is up, they have nothing. They, like, just have to present. I much prefer that. Someone's like, yep, this is a square. I was supposed to decorate it. The countdown to like the time being up on the cooking shows always feels really forced too. You have these clips of them like rushing around and doing preparation that like looks like it was stuff that you would have done much earlier in the stages. The way it's edited together. Right, yeah, I managed to do 7 steps in 10 seconds. I think that's what I like about Alone. Like, it's definitely a stressor making people record themselves. Like, go out there and haul around this camera equipment. Like, it definitely makes the conditions harder on them, right? And they're still trying to do, like, a narrative with the edit. But they can't, like, do anything, like, artificial beyond that. The show's influence ends, like, after they pick the people to go do the thing. This Narset might have been a good bin. Brutal Ziran. Yeah, again, that doesn't surprise me. It still sucks, though. Yeah, it's interesting when some people choose to, like, augment their environment to Among. Jordan literally, like, altering his landscape to change how, like, a moose might walk in his area. I want to run out Talisman. I want a Demonic Tutor for Wrath. I think I was supposed to, like, Turok into Grief here, though. I think I just take too much damage doing the other thing. I think I need to Grief if I'm doing the Turok line so they don't just, like, bolt my thing, right? This Raptor is so good against my walkers. But this Ferocidon has Menace. That house almost burned him, McCugin. When he started building that house, for one, it's like the biggest calorie expenditure of anyone building a shelter on all of Alone, right? Just a ridiculous thing. I'm gonna build my shelter out of giant boulders. And the roof shall be entire giant trees. Hundreds of pounds. Real logs, manly logs. Absolutely over the top, ridiculous. And when he started building it, he had fish. And when he was finishing up, the fish had changed their movement patterns. And he wasn't getting food anymore. He actually got, like, pretty lucky. Obviously absurd, obviously super skillful. Can't take anything from Roland, but my god. I'm gonna Narset down tick here. I'm gonna grab this Dreams and hope they whip on their land so I can Dreams that fucking 4-drop. This is gonna be a hard game to win otherwise, right? The later seasons do reference prior winners, yeah. I started with season 8, so I had some references. That's fine though. You want to find a way to expend your calories effectively early while you have them. Yeah, but you can build a pretty good shelter without like spending 500 calories an hour hauling logs and shit. There are different things that could mean, right? The wiki ups that some people do really appeal to me. Super effective. Just got like the fire in the middle too, so it's like really easy to heat. Real simple. Any idiot could build one. I kind of want to build one. I kind of want to like go out to some park or whatever. Yeah, feeling pretty dead. What is this? 4 damage, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12. 12 on board. All right, I'm going to Dak loot target myself. And I'm going to find very specifically Damnation Swamp. I mean, I can top deck to the Damnation next turn, but that's the idea behind this. It was. That's why we needed to hit a land off the deck loot there. But I can't just, like, play the dreams. Really need to find that Damnation. You wanted to steal the Rabbit Battery? Well, that would have been a tapped blocker. And a tapped blocker is less interesting to me than this Damnation. So no, I preferred my line. Also, making a comment after I make a line is not... That will not be backseating. That's not what backseating is. To be clear. You don't have to worry about that. Asking questions, commenting on taken lines. That's not what backseating means. But I appreciate your caution. You're all just terrified. Yeah. Don't want to summon the anger. Hopefully their card in hand isn't a 5-drop, huh? You're moist from that top deck. The Damnation. It was pretty good. Oh my god. They needed that true name. The Narset binned our Edict earlier. So I don't know if there's anything we can actually get from this Jace Brainstorm. Oh well, GG. Who would have predicted true name very specifically? I wonder if Subtlety should be in, or Massacre Girl. Massacre Girl's a little slow, but I think I want it. Let's play Wormcoil. Let's cut Dig. Let's cut Narset. Yeah. Let's go minus Valky plus Hexmage. Maybe. No. No, Valky's better. Don't really like either of them. Well, Hexmage kills Chandra. That's kind of real. It's a really good blocker, too. Maybe Subtlety's better than, like, Mastermind. Kind of dig that. On the play here for game 3. That's a hot draw. We're so far from this Cryptic. That's also a hot draw. We can play that and crack the clue next turn. First strike seems relevant. Yeah, but the Valky can grab the creature out of their hand, right? That's also kind of relevant. Especially when they've got cards like True Name and Hasters and stuff. Ooh. I kind of want a Grief, but I should probably Damnation Hum. Could Grief into Massacre Girl. Have a 4/4 left over. Also, I was a little bit worried about Big Titty. And the Grief helps protect versus this Raptor in a couple ways, huh? Nice. So... Oh, it doesn't matter because one of these is going to live. I might even loot away the dragon here. Well. Senior Snips! Later. My favorite cube archetype? If you get a draw 7 deck that's just like redrawing itself over and over, that can be pretty fun. Especially if there's a time walk in there somewhere. It's funny to bounce something with a scripted command. I made them discard it. I'm just gonna subtle team. That makes their attacks bad too. They top the Pyromancer. Got him! Got him! Got him! I have one question for you, opponent. How does it feel to be got? Not bad. Not bad. Kind of a tough matchup, I think. So we beat the library matchup. We beat the aggro deck. Mana's looking good here. I don't think we grief on one as much as I want to. Mana's looking great this game. Mask Girl's a hell of a card. Yeah, she was great that game. Definitely in my sideboard for a reason, but that was the spot we wanted her. I wonder if I was supposed to grief here. No need to let them untap and have counterspell mana, before we edict. How many true names am I going to beat tonight? I don't know. We'll see. This is the finals, right? Soul Ring deck. Finally something I want to pitch. This is the finals for you. Finals game 1 here. They're countering unless I pay 4. All right, I'll pay it. They might have nothing. Yeah. Felt like that might be the case. I went that Grim Monolith anyway. I was a little surprised I didn't draw on their turn. Flame Slash Temple Garden. Oh boy. We describe them to. Fairy would have triggered on their turn. Fair enough. Cool kitty. Thank you. Yeah, it can be a hard thing to think about when you're on this side of the table. But that makes sense. Next time we play the Fairy Mastermind and have Cryptic up. That seems good. Oh, shit, what up? Hey, old man Kinzer. Thanks for 56 months. Your one commercial a month. Letting you know it's time to resub. This Lion Sash does not look like it has much white, Yeah, they can block. They can jump. I'm fine with it. And then they can respond to this Fairy Mastermind by looting, but they can also just loot on my turn. Not activating the Fairy on their end of turn is maybe a tell that I got a thing. I'm not worried about it, though. Looks like a shark to me. I think they're rethinking if they want to tap the Grim Monolith. Definitely want to do that before they've drawn their second card, right? And play around Force and such. I feel like this Fairy Mastermind should have activated. Now that I'm here. Now that I'm here, I'm regretting. Imagine if the Fallen Shinobi had hit that expressive, Right, Amrando. We're gonna be leaving the Damnation in, too. Like, the opponent's got True Name and Shark Typhoon. Like, the Fiery might come out. Really like Dak in this matchup. The Preordain does trigger my Fairy Master. That's kind of nice. Finally getting some master value. See if I'll something on F6 here. Nope. It's good. 3 True Names in a row. Yeah, right? Even our red aggro opponent was playing True Name. I did on F6 in time. No, fair enough. I feel like the Lion Sash is in there so they can have a critical mass of artifacts for something. I like this trade so the Fairy Mastermind can get in. I think the Fairy Mastermind has more value than Ophiomancer on this board, right? Like, I can finally activate on their turn. Collect my extra card. Off the Ninja, we flipped a Flame Slash and a Temple Garden. Yeah, feeling really good about my decision to trade Ophiomancer there. I'd always yield this Hex Drinker. Yeah, you got it. True Name versus Hex Drinker. A duel for the ages. Currency Converter? Oh yeah, that card's great. Just prevents you from flooding out. That's sort of like a little Fairy Mastermind. It was cute when they got to cycle the Shark Typhoon and then make a 2/2 to block immediately. Prevented us from getting our, like, 2 hits in with the Fallen. I think they're thinking about whether to get Hex Drinker up to 8 or leave man up. for Converter or something else they might draw into here. Trying to think of what sweeper they might have. They do have white mana. Like, I'm wondering if I don't play the Strix. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass here. Our board already seems like pretty hard to deal with, right? What about the life gain equipment? Gain 5, go up to 6. We still have 6 on board. Fourth doesn't do it, right? Maybe I should have done fourth math before I passed here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 2 is 16. No, they need 2 more mana. Well, are you dead? Oh, that's a line retired landlord. Opponent played this game really well. Hopefully it doesn't matter. I'm not going to activate. It's a time walk. It is... Shit. Well, now if they find a fourth, they get to win. Hey, Wild Sizzle thinks it's 75 months. I might lose because I didn't play this fucking Strix. It would have soaked 4 damage that first turn. The Hex Drinker couldn't have gotten in. Opponent's seen most of their deck. But if there's like an Eternal Witness to get back a Time Walk, I think they get to win. Nice. Phew. Game got real terrifying all of a sudden. Yeah, Damnation definitely staying in, huh? They've got True Name and Hex Drinker. We only saw 1 Planeswalker, but it seems like a good one to have the Hex Mage for, maybe. I guess Edict also gets walkers. And Molten Collapse. Yeah, I think we're good, actually. I think we're actually good. Dreams can get artifacts. Maybe Hard Evidence comes out for something, like Subtlety. Let's do that, actually. I do that. Love True Name versus them. Love Dak versus them too. The Verdant Catacombs cannot get a red source, but the deck makes red mana live. Come on, red mana. I've never accidentally named myself the true name, no. Not yet, anyway. Hopefully this fairy doesn't give them too much value. Ooh. Song always gets stuck in my head. Time Walk. We got Time Walk Council's Judgment with this board. This fucking board. Those cards are both insane. Those cards are both fucking absurd here. Council's Judgment, one of the few white cards that can answer both True Name and Turok. And then Time Walk plus this Teferi. Whoo. I feel like whatever they kept, it was not as good as Time Walk Council's Judgment, right? It's got to be real hard to be as good as Time Walk Council's Judgment. If we DAC the opponent, it grows Turok, right? That's cute. Opponent's got some loots, too. Why didn't they Time Walk last turn? They wanted to Time Walk after they had Teferi down. Teferi untaps the lands at end of turn, so... I guess I play this land. I kind of want to save it to loot away to Dak. But we could draw Tybalt, right? Tybalt would reward me for playing the land out. Love that Signurnum. Might have to Damnation my own True Name here. Love Fable in their deck, by the way. My red duels don't come into play tapped, right? I'm gonna double check. Oh, the deck I have in Stream Decker is just wildly different than the deck I'm playing right now. Let me fix that. Here, now that we're in like the finals or whatever, let me fix the Stream Decker. Yeah, they all come to play untapped. That's all fine. Opponent not looting, because that'll trigger Fairy Mastermind. Or they might just not have a loot, but I'm going to be activating Fairy Ass anyway. It only triggers once per turn. So if they wanted to loot, I think they should have. Nice that Damnation is getting the other side of Reflection now. Isn't that nice? That's kind of nice. Lose Focus is a counterspell. They can replicate for 1 blue when they cast it. So it counters unless they pay 2. So right now they can counterspell unless I pay 6 mana. With the mana they're going to have up here. Perhaps I screwed up by not Damnationing last turn. The line I chose leaves me dead to a removal spell, but I was thinking True Name would be a better follow-up to my own Damnation here. We'll see. Oh, we got Shieldred's Edict. But I guess they have counters for the Edict, Oh, this just makes the counter spell not a thing I can deal with. I need to find grief now because the replicate's gonna be higher now. Oh, they just have a burn spell. Sure. Damn. Yeah, I guess if I damnation the turn that it can resolve, the turn that they don't have all that blue mana up, it was awkward. It looked like I needed to get more value out of Fairy Mastermind. Like we didn't have a red source for Dak yet or anything at that point. It looked like I could wait a turn, and then it turned out that I super couldn't wait a turn. Bummer. Yeah, feeling a little silly, dying with damnation in hand, but there was only the one spot, so I could have resolved it. I felt like I had the time, and then I super did not. No Omni Beat Boop. Massacre Girl also would have gotten countered there. Massacre Girl is like really good against the opponent's Hex Drinker the turn they play it, but like the odds of Hex Drinker staying killable with Massacre Girl is very low, right? We're going into game 3 here. We're up a game. I don't understand why people like Massacre Girl. I barely like this damnation. My opponent's got like 3 creatures in their whole deck. The odds of Massacre Girl being able to kill a leveled up Hex Drinker is very low. It does kill the opponent's true name, but I mean, so does my Edict and the Damnation, right? The X1s in both decks. They don't really, again, they don't really have X1s. I'm just gonna. I've already answered. I've already answered the Massacre Girl question. I'm not playing it. I don't like it. Yeah, all of these cards I've talked about going into game 2. I'm not gonna rehash everything. I'm not attending Pro Tour Chicago. I'm going to Covenant that. Could run into Daze here. But Covenant doesn't actually have a ton of spaces to be useful. It's like doing this or killing a shark later. And Shieldred's Edict is an answer to Teferi. That currency converter is going to gain a lot of value. Kind of hate seeing it come down here. Surveil duels should be pretty cool for Cube, yeah. I don't know about Vintage Cube specifically, but Cube in general, yeah, for sure. Fair enough. I want to hold on to this Water Grave in case we get Dak and want to loot. Very jealous of that expressive iteration. Yeah, I didn't bring in Hex Mage because Molten Collapse is also an answer to Teferi. I think it's like a bit better because it can kill stuff like a giant shark or Omnath and stuff too. A little bit more, a little less niche. If you run out the Hex Mage to beat down, like they can point removal at it, you know, they can play around it. Dak would be so good here. Maybe the Ninja. Once we have this extra land... Oh, maybe Molten Collapse should just be killing this converter thing. They have a lot of cards in hand. I feel like Molten Collapse should chill for Teferi. If I draw a fetch or something, I can kill the Shaman and the Converter. That'd be nice. I have to pay mana? This is bullshit. Do it for the fans? I think I'm going to be doing it for myself, friend. That's bad for me. Only one Tybalt trigger there should be. For each player, that is fair. How do you feel about, like, Jace Bounce Reflection? Probably terrible. Jace Brainstorm now. We got a Time Warp in here, too, right? That'd be nice here. A little bit worried about dying to my opponent's shit. Time Walks and Time Warps and what's. Fuck, huh? What are the odds that they draw a counter, right? Or have a counter once they untap? I think I'm supposed to, like, Jace Brainstorm and look for a blue source. But I hate it, because we could whiff. Gotta make them have it. Well, we're gonna... There's multiple ways to do that, Crooks. That the expression means nothing here. Because the question is whether you Jace Brainstorm or just, like, simply pass the turn and Cryptic on their upkeep. Right? Jace Brainstorm's much better if they have a Time Walk. And they have 2 Time Walks in their deck, and there's only 13 cards left. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to Jace here. And lose focus is the last card in hand. Yeah, if we tried to Cryptic tap on their upkeep, they would have countered it and killed us. But this way they have to hit a Time Walk effect. Because we have a bunch of blockers. Tree Name might not even serve, right? Or that doesn't matter, right? Because if they hit a Time Walk effect, then the Reflection can copy True Name, and they just 6 me. So we might as well serve a True Name, right? They have so many outs here. Especially with the loot, huh, for the Converter. Real bummer. And they just fetched one out, one dead draw out. Fuck, huh? Maybe Cryptic was better in case they need, like, to cast Warp specifically. I don't think Warp does it anymore. It has to be Time Walk now. Wild Game 3. Wild match total, but my hands are getting a little chilly. I think I need to turn up the thermostat in my house by a couple degrees. It's like -6 outside or something. I have a hot pad for my feet. Usually, the room that I'm streaming in, usually my study gets like warm just from me being here all day. It's pretty rare that my hands get cold like this. But it is like the coldest month of the year, huh? Nice trophy. Nice fucking trophy. Not bad, meme. Not bad. Some real interesting decision points in there. I think the opponent's deck was great, and they played great too. Cool. I do have a stip. Thank you.